Goat versus fish is feeling fruity. Have you ever felt fruit-y? Fruit-tacular? It's time. It's time for nutrition. It's time for a nutritional versus on Goat versus Fish. A celebration. A celebration. Celebration for relaxation and some fruitiness. It's about time. It's about time for fruit. Join us. Fruit like this. Fruit like this. Welcome, Celestial Destroyer 666. Goat versus Fish, congratulations on the unification today. Fruit is so nice for you, and a better alternative to candy. We did have some gummy sharks. But yes, we're going to do this. We're going to do this now with a name like Celestial Destroyer 666. You know they mean verses. Celebration. We crave it. Secret verses, we think that the unification celebration might continue tomorrow. A bonus episode 69. Episode 69, part 2. Because we still have so many snacks and inebriations that were not consumed. Maybe we'll just keep consuming them, do bonus celebrations. At Unification Day, you deserve versus shark gummies. Oh, we had them. And now someone wants us to mail shark gummies, to mail them across the world. Oh. This is all you need in life for those of you watching. A goat, a fish, a versus. Delicious fruit for consumption. What are you looking for? What are you trying to find? What are you trying to find out there? It's already here. Hello, Big Jerry. Welcome back. Remember to please like the stream if you're watching, if you're enjoying watching Goat versus Fish. Share with you the fruits of our labor. Brody Too Good For You asks, what country are you in? I think we are in the disunited states of Verse America. The disunited states of Verse America. Where are you? What country are you in? I'm normally in your Twitch chat, but wanted to watch here to help you get the YouTube watch time. That's part of this versus. We are at about 2,840. A few more watch hours. Just a few more precious watch hours. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's fruit it. Let's fruit it up. By the power of fruit, we shall achieve monetization. Same, but it got dark 2 hours and 20 minuets ago. That must mean that you're somewhere over there. That must mean you're somewhere over there. Well, where are you? Where are you over there? You must be over there somewhere. Celebration! Join us, join us. Who wants a piece? Who wants a piece of that? One's in the chat if you want a piece of that. One's in the chat if you've got a terrible, terrible diet and you're looking at this with envy going, oh, I wish I could eat it so fresh. Party on YouTube. Watermelon. Paisley says, me, celebration. Yes, DRI Queen, Dire Queen. Yes, you know it. But guess what? We've got a trick for you. We've got one little trick. You don't have to actually eat any healthier yourself. You can just watch me eating healthy, and you can feel like you're doing it yourself. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Wow. I'm watching someone eat healthy. That must mean I am too. We're doing it for you. We're doing all the work for you. Reward your live streamer. Shower us with subscriptions and likes and view time. Reward us. We're making you feel like you're making healthy choices in life without having to do anything yourself. This is the primary function of Goat versus Fish. At least in this versus. The primary versus of Goat versus Fish is to ask you if you are goat or if you are fish. Goat. Fish. Goat versus fish. And to help you get off the fence and achieve everything you ever wanted to in life but were too afraid to. But this versus, we just want to eat some fruit. I'm going to go wat something unhealthy. Dire Queen. Fish? Are you going to eat an unhealthy fish? Sounds delish. Always thank Goat versus Fish, Celestial Destroyer for Goat. I'm in Texas. What do you do out there? What do you do out there in Texas? This fruit cost us 10 versus American dollars. We're going to enjoy it, and you're going to enjoy it with us. Goat versus Fish likes melons. Big, round, juicy ones. Oh. I love being a fish because I get to eat fish. Fish do eat fish. Fish do eat fish. But goat also eat fish. We've seen goat eat fish, and we've seen fish eat goat, so don't let your goat or fishness hold you back. Brody, too good for you, says, I work, sleep, eat, repeat. Can we do all at once? Goat versus Fish is working because we are live streaming. Goat versus Fish is working and eating. Can we work, eat, and sleep all at once? I think it can be done. Goat versus Fish will never die. Because Goat versus Fish will live on through you. That seems dangerous. Well, anything for 6 viewers. Fish eat goat? Well, of course. You've never seen a fish eat a goat before? Just look at this goat. It's just waiting to eat that fish. The fish. It's the fish that eats the goat. The goat also eat the fish. Can't kill ideas. What does goat versus fish mean to you? Message pinned. It's time. It's time to try to kill the idea. The current idea is that you can't kill ideas. But if someone posts an idea in the chat that kills that idea, then we'll post that instead and then we'll kill it. Goat versus Fish is the greatest live streamer because we ask so little of you. All we ask is that you dedicate your entire existence to the promotion of Goat versus Fish, through which you will become the strongest, wisest, and most powerful and accomplished goat or fish you could ever want to be. So really, you're doing it for yourself. While you're eating, can you put me down for one fish? One fish! Goat versus Fish, to me, in all seriousness, seems like a job at modern politics and taking it and making it more wholesome twist on it. You could say that. Goat versus Fish, we hope that Goat versus Fish permeations the culture so very much that one verse is not too far from now. That senator, whoever the fence, is going to be on an interview. And they're going to say, wow, it seems really tough. How come you can't get this legislation through? And Senator, whatever the fence, will respond, well, it's actually a very goat versus fish situation. And everyone in Verse America will know precisely what they mean. Precisely. That can only happen with you. But we have found that those who spend time with Goat versus Fish, certain verses enter their vocabulary. Suddenly you start saying celebration. You start saying celebration. Suddenly you start saying, what's today's verses? There's a bit of fence on that one. There's a bit of fence on that one. Makes us wonder if there's any more fence in here. Just have to find out. Do you want it? Do you got it? For the cost of 4 months of subscription on Twitch to Goat vs. Fish, you can buy Goat vs. Fish one giant bowl of pre-cut fruit. In this economy, inventive harvest. Perhaps this is the harvest. Perhaps this is the harvest indeed. Hi. Hi, Betty Frank. New around here? At Hell's Heroes Fest, you gave my friends and I a verses. Right there on the spot. That is deserving of an Oscar award. It was truly spectacular and amazing. It's the IRL power of Goat versus Fish. We come to you through the living streams, but as many know, the power of Goat versus Fish is in that direct communication. Goat versus fish is a communication. It's a conversation. We can have it when we are consuming fruit. We can have it when we are drawing goat and fish on a chalkboard. Someone's got to be out there giving you true communication, listening of mind and ear and heart. Someone has to do it for you because you're not getting it out there from most of the fence sitters all around you. Eat more of the honeydew? Honeydew. Goat versus fish. EGOT. What was EGOT once more? We know that stands for. Is it like e-goat? Is it like an electronic goat? I thought live performance get Tony Awards. Ah, yes. You are part of the radical few. You are enjoying goat versus fish that the mass media doesn't want you to hear. The mass media doesn't want you to watch a live streamer eating fruit. But you know better. That's the verses. We still think we should spell it G-O-E-T. Grammy. Oscar. Ammy. Tony. You got a typo in your YouTube link in Discord? Appreciation. Well, there's all fence we can do about it now. What's the typo? What's it say? Does it say goat? Does it say Ghost versus fish or something like that? You know how to find goat versus fish. The link is there just to enable your maximum laziness. Goat versus fish, J. Oh, my verses. Well, goat versus fish can't change it now, so that's just going to have to be what it is. We could exit the stream and come back, we suppose, but maybe they'll think goat versus fish was enjoying a J, and that's what happened. Getting watch hours, are we pretty close? We're quite close. We are at about 2,840, and then we had 20 hours just today, so we're probably at about 2,900. So we're just getting some bonus verses. Bonus verses now. You're probably wondering, hey, goat versus fish, are you going to finish that fruit? We might be done with the fruit. We might be done with the fruit. We've eaten a lot of fruit now, and it only took 18 minutes. We wanted it fresh. We wanted it fresh. But we know you came here to watch fruit be consumed. So what now? What now? Okay, one more. Let us suppose now that the watermelon is goat, the cantaloupe is the verses, and the honeydew is fish. Watermelon, goat. The verses is the cantaloupe, and the honeydew is fish. Goat versus fish. The final piece will be consumed. What shall it be? Tell us. Tell us. BBDH187. What do we consume? What's it going to be? And be sure to like the stream of goat versus fish. 12 viewers, 5 likes. Let's versus. Let's versus. Big versus. Big versus. 12 million viewers. I can't have watermelon, but I am goat. Celestial Destroyer 666. What band are you a part of? All those Hell's Heroes ones are part of some kind of band. Remind goat versus fish. Enjoy watermelon for me. So that's one vote for goat. That's a compelling versus. Enjoy watermelon for you. That's sort of what this whole versus is all about, isn't it? Goat versus fish lived in the land of the rising verses, and we became very skilled and proficient in this. Goat versus fish is going to the top of the mountain on Friday. We're going to Yamashiro, the White Mountain, here in Los Angeles. A legendarily overhyped Japanese restaurant in the mountains. But Goat versus Fish is going there, and we'll see what it does. We'll see how it be. Did you rest at all? You have been awake all crazy hours. Preparation. We did. We got about 3 hours of the rest of Goat versus Fish. And then we just awoke from a rest of Goat versus Fish, about a 3-hour rest of Goat versus Fish. Well, we have one call. We have one call of enjoying watermelon for me, so that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Goat versus Fish has been versing very hard. Tomorrow we will have a guest, Michelle Malizalki, again with appreciation. Unification celebration continuation. This is going to be the first 2-parter Goat versus Fish morning motivational. We're not moving on to morning motivational number 70. It's Goat versus Fish morning motivation 69 part 2. Because we can. Because we can. And because there's more food to eat. And we want to share it with someone who wants to eat it. But we have been thinking about getting some rest right here on the live stream of Goat versus Fish. Sometimes you wonder, what is the laziest stream that Goat versus Fish could possibly do? How lazy could we be? Could Goat versus Fish be the laziest one to ever do it? We're going to put away this fruit, and then we're going to let you wonder, what would the laziest stream of Goat versus Fish be? And we'll be right back. How could you be so lazy? Is walking around the laziest stream? You know it's not. We're going to do it anyway. We're too lazy to be lazy. It's been a while since we've walked and talked with Goat versus Fish. It's just been a busy versus. It's been a very busy versus. We have Netflix as a Joke Festival coming up on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Different verses. Sunday, Goat versus Fish has Corbin Bowl comedy. Showrunners Corbin Bowl comedy mic. And then on Monday, we have the Ding Dong Show. And then on Tuesday versus, We have the Milk Crate Maui Sugar Mill mic with Goat versus Fish. So you tell us, where's the rest of Goat versus Fish? Where's the rest? Where's the rest? Can you help us find it? Simply put, oh, Goat versus Fish. We missed a few verses. Oh yes, oh yeah, Michelle. What history, by the way? Indeed, I'm a guy who snuck Twister in during Tankard set. Oh, is that who you are? But if that's who you are, then is that who? But we thought. Well, we saw three. We saw three that were playing Twister. We don't know who snuck it in. But if you are you who we think you are by another name? Are you a drummer? What's your order at Japanese restaurant? Fish? Goat versus Fish enjoys chirashi. Chirashi? Chirashi is sort of like a classy donburi. Bed of sushi rice topped with various cuts of fish, all in a glorious presentation. Who else would bring Twister into a Festiversus? You notice that when you spin around the Twister, oh, you get all these different colors. You'll notice that the boxes of Goat versus Fish, we think we're going to build a bunch of boxes on the Unification celebration. The box building was a fun versus. We're going to build more boxes. We're going to, maybe we'll go out and blow some balloons. Maybe we'll blow some balloons and then for 169 bits, we'll write your name on the balloon and then we'll pop it or something like that. You always get a yum yum burrito. Well, that's. Listen, however you want to consume the fish, it's a fair versus, but it's not what we would call a classic versus now, is it? Although it's so unclassic that it sort of transcends its unclassicness and becomes classic all over again. Very fence-sitter move. I like balloons. Well, you're going to like tomorrow's stream. Sexy beanie. It's a great way to show off Goat versus Fish. GVF casual. We are so pleased with it. We are so pleased with its stitchedness. So look, we can go around like this and heavy as the crown of Goat versus Fish. It's nice to be able to walk around like this. Sushi is the best way to consume fit fish. A fish, you say. Raw fish, fresh fish. What about fried fish, though? Are you going to deny the fried fish? Goat versus Fish would like to get fried, let us tell you. Let us tell you. Goat versus Fish does so enjoy the grass of the land and the weed of the sea. However, we cannot deny that we have produced more morning motivationals without it than we have with it. Cannot deny it. And Goat versus Fish, we want a versus forever. We want a versus very long and strong for many verses to come to keep giving you more Goat versus Fish. So we'll do whatever it takes. We'll do whatever it takes. We'll do whatever it takes. Too fattening at times? So when you say the best way to consume fish, are you accounting for all verses? We suppose the best is best. Let us ask you, what is best in Goat versus Fish? Is it to destroy your enemies? Do you hear the lamentations of the fence-sitters? What is best in life? Asks Goat versus Fish to you, the congregation, as we eat fruit and walk around. What is best in life? Goat versus Fish truly wishes for a civilization in which you can eat fruit and walk around. Have a little patch of verses to call your own. We try and we strive. We are sold a false fence of goods to say we need all of these things to have contentment. But all we really need is a nice, humble congregation, a place to pace around, some delicious, sweet fruits, some goat and fish to verses. Best is Goat versus Fish Musications. There's a verses indeed. We really could Goat versus Fish all day, every day. We could. Morning motivational live streams, followed by Goat versus Fish on guitar musication streams, followed by Goat versus Fish temple games, followed by Goat versus Fish consumption mukbang with Goat versus Fish. It really could be constant Goat versus Fish celebrations. Weightlifting with Goat versus Fish. Art with Goat versus Fish. It could be it all. We could do it all. Best in life riffs. Good times with friends and goth butts and fishnets. Can't deny the fishnets. Can't deny the fishnets. You'll get caught in those. Then what would happen to Mike CPA? Well, Mike CPA would be pleased as ever. Mike CPA would maybe if we can earn just a few more $1,000 a month as Goat versus Fish, maybe we could pay the unpaid intern. Maybe we can. Maybe we could. Maybe we could. Mike CPA needs a vacation off the fence. Well, it's up to that's up to CPA. But we heard the CPA has gone away in recent. The CPA's been camping. CPA's been out camping, trying to find themselves or some such verses. CPA has been consuming substances, searching for Goat versus Fish out there in the universe. What's the answer? What's the answer to Goat versus Fish? But we already know. We already know. We know that we don't know. Do you know that you don't know? What about you? Thank you, 12 glorious viewers. We love the lurkers, don't we? You don't have to say anything to Goat versus Fish. You can just like and subscribe to Goat versus Fish. Take this for a place of calm, for a piece of calm. A piece of calm in your verses. I decided I will make another Goat versus Fish song. It will be about unification, and I'll have it done for the 100th morning motivation. It'll be a super epic verses. That's very fine. The 100th morning motivation, is going to be a mighty verses. Every 69th episode is going to be, well, every episode that ends in 6-9 or is 6-9 is going to be a unification celebration. However, every 100th verses is going to be a mighty verses, big verses, lots of competition, lots of games. Perhaps the 100th Mighty Verses will be Temple Games. The 100th Mighty's Verses Temple Games, and we'll invite a bunch of Goat and Fish over to engage in competition with one another. Your beard went gray fast. It's okay. Makes you more wise fast. How many years have you been watching Goat versus Fish? We miss substances? A fair verses. Well, Remember that Antagonizer has also said they want to make a song about goat versus fish, a metal song about goat versus fish. We want to get all these songs, all you songsters out there who make songs about goat versus fish, and then we want to put them all on an album called Now That's What I Call Goat versus Fish. And it's everyone else who made goat versus fish inspired songs to be beautiful verses. Sometimes we ponder, what if we hide it? What if we were to hide the gray? What if we were to hide it away? You may say, nay, goat versus fish, don't do that. But what if, goat versus fish, what if we could double our viewership and profit with just a simple coloration of goat versus fish? Would it be worth it? But of course, we like to show you goat versus fish en natural, to show you that we are as we are, to show you that there is wisdom in as we are. Goat versus fish never deceives you. Indeed, they did it. I know the title. I'm super close with them. You know the title. Wow, there's a title now. This is pleasant to hear. We're making a progression. I'd buy that album. You'll be on that album. You'll be on that album. Goat versus fish song ideas. Go. Song of Goat. Goat versus Fish needs to write more musications too. There's so much more we need to do, as always. But we can dream of more guitar practice for Goat versus Fish. We can dream of more weightlifting for Goat versus Fish. But really, it's the temple that needs to verses, as we have said many verses before. We have enough monetization to do it. But you see, then what happens is we end up staying up late doing preparation for the 69th Unification celebration. And then we need to spend the day getting the rest of Goat versus Fish. And then we do a living stream with Fruit. And then we have Netflix as a joke fest. And before you know it, it has been another month, another year without completion of the streaming setup of Goat versus Fish. And yet, on the other verses, the morning motivational is what's bringing the congregation together. So we need to keep that up. We have to keep up the morning motivational, don't we? Mess with Goat, get horny. Ooh. Is that a title? We like that. Demo. 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 That is the title. Mess with Goat, get horny. Nice. Nice. Horny Goat. Goat versus Fish is super busy, but I'm here for it. Yes. Well, we're busy bringing you Goat versus Fish. We were reading a verses recently. It was talking about repetition in comedy. Some verses you will find out repetition in comedy is a classic verses. Other times you will see, you don't want to, if you do a premise too much, you do it to death, and then no one likes it anymore. But Goat versus Fish defies this verses. Goat versus Fish defies this, and we insist upon it. We insist upon the verses. For years we insist upon it. It doesn't stop. You give up. You give up. Not you, but the hypothetical fence sitter who's telling Goat versus Fish to give up on Goat versus Fish. You give up on your verses. Goat versus Fish will continue. We will continue bringing joy and satisfaction to the Goat and Fish. And we will continue our conversation, our perpetual, forever conversation with the congregation. You here. We'll continue. We shall continue. But yes, what a glorious unification celebration. Those of you who watched episode 69, Morning Motivation Unification Celebration today, tell us, what were some of your favorite verses? What were some of your favorite verses of the Morning Motivation this stream? Tell us, we want to know. There were so many classics. Instant classics, instant glorious celebrations. Bird Brain, says Dragon Balls 325. Was very happy Bird Brain made it to it. Yes, it did make it. It did. It turned it into quite an epic place, quite an epic time. We were pleased with Sunshine. Sunshine carried the stream for nearly an hour as GoatVsFish set up the spread. And it was just Sunshine talking to the chat as GoatVsFish set up the spread, and Sunshine just seemed so, as they say, in the pocket. Sunshine seemed in command, ready to be streamer, ready to talk to the congregation, no hesitation, looking very strong, looking very confident. Favorite versus was building the blocks and the snacks. There's going to be more of that. We're just going to keep building blocks. We're going to keep building blocks, and then one of these verses, the morning motivation is going to start, and it will start with a whole bunch of blocks all built up. We'll start up with a bunch of built-up blocks, and then busting through the blocks. It's GoatVsFish. Welcome to the morning motivation. Could you imagine every verse is just starting with a bunch of blocks and GoatVsFish busting through? It would be a great way to start Instagram shorts too. Hey, have you heard of GoatVsFish? It's darkening out, as you can see. We're getting some compensation. We're definitely getting some compensation, and we do have some illumination here. But it will get darker soon. It will get darker quite soon. Oh, yeah. Do you know about the Doomsday Fish? Please tell us about it. Sunshine is a great addition to the morning motivation. We must agree. We must agree. It's nice to have such a reliable fish. Always there to make it a celebration. GoatVsFish is always prepared to do the morning motivation alone, but it's nice to have another verses there. It's nice to have another one in the verses. It has also been nice to see some members of the congregation returning. Blackstone 514 has been returning, and that's a mighty celebration. Blackstone is Backstone. That's a mighty celebration. A deep-sea creature rarely seen at the surface, which is feared in Japanese folklore, is a messenger that predicts earthquakes and tsunamis. Ah, yes. Like it's deep in the sea of the fish. It's creation. It is creation, the earthquakes. It is creation, the tsunamis. While that is an amazing idea, we still think that Karmix can't kill ideas. You didn't kill it yet. You still didn't kill it. I Can Fix Amber Heard with 169 verses is a celebration of its own. We think it was just 160. Just 160. If you can provide evidence it was 169, we can go look and see, but in any verses, it was a very, very fine celebration. It certainly covered the cost of the spread and the inebriation, and some more too. But we will not hesitation. GoatVsFish, we invest a lot. We know that when you tune into the unification celebration, when we say there's going to be a party on GoatVsFish, you want to see that GoatVsFish is going to go all out. So yes, we invest. We invest because what's another 10 versus American dollars to goat versus fish? What's another 20 versus American? What's another 100 versus American dollars to goat versus fish? If it can demonstration to you the dedication with which we pursue the satisfaction of viewers like you. Even if it is in something as ephemeral as a bowl of fruit. Not on Twitch at the moment. Must be why Fixer's not here. Perhaps so. Who knows? I might have missed it. I was working all day, but I had it playing in the background. Celebration. Goat versus fish in the background. It's a background versus. Nags was very humorous when because Nags gifted Stream Raiders to Goat versus Fish and was like, this is chaos. Yeah, it's chaos. And Goat versus Fish, yes. What was your expectation? Oh, it was a celebration. The chaotic versus. Bandwidth for streaming isn't cheap. I hope one day the morning motivation can pay for itself one day. One day, perhaps. One day, perhaps. That is why we grow the congregation. We can't put it all on you. We need a robust and thriving congregation. But we can say that the morning motivation pays for the internet of Goat versus Fish. This much is certainly true. Although if you count all of the investments made by Goat versus Fish into the morning motivational, perhaps the morning motivational is not even a profit, but it's all worth it to just bring you more Goat versus Fish. It truly is. And it does grow. You want to talk about the bandwidth for streaming, talk about the rest of Goat versus Fish. The time of Goat versus Fish. Time, the fence of time. What's happening? Goat versus Fish ate fruit. We were feeling fruity and we ate a bunch of fruit. And then Goat versus Fish started walking around. But stay tuned. We're almost done walking around. And when we are, Goat versus Fish is going to treat you to the laziest stream ever seen. And you're going to enjoy it. And you're going to love it. You're going to envy Goat versus Fish. It's time. It's time for a really, truly lazy stream. And we want you to be there for it. Get ready. Get ready for a lazy, lazy celebration. We think we'll take 2 more minutes walking around the verses, and then it will be getting too dark, and then we'll go in and we'll get lazy with it. We'll get lazy with it. Truly we are nearing the final 100 hours of monetization. Although, as we have said, that it will merely allow us to accept tips and to accept super chats and to accept memberships on YouTube. It will not allow us to earn revenue from advertisements, but because that will take yet another 1,000 hours. But Goat versus Fish, that will happen in due verses. And as we have said, once we have monetization on YouTube, it will be fun to make some contributions. But as always, Patreon and the tip portal are the best way to support Goat versus Fish. But never the fence, we will achieve monetization anyway. We'll do it anyway. We'll do it anyway. You can't stop the verses. We'll do it anyway. You can't stop this verse. And just like that, Big Fence is back. Whoa, Big Fence is back. Adding more time to the rack. Adding more time to the rack. You charged your phone? Nice. Nice verses. Okay, it's time for laziness to increase. Let's get lazy. 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 Who's ready to get lazy? Some much needed laziness after all that unification celebration. It really is time to get lazy with it. Monetize your laziness with Goat versus Fish. Fence sitter. Goat versus Fish. Oh, hey. What are you doing here? Pondering. Pondering. Laziness does take preparation. You've got to prepare to be lazy. Did we consume spiciness? Not so much. Not so much. Not so much. Not so much. Oh, it's a hot one now, suddenly. That's okay. We'll gladly wear the Moon Man Designs t-shirt. So let's see. So we've got this versus. We've got that versus. Yes, we think so. Yes, we think so. Have we figured it out yet? Have we figured it out yet? Did the audio quality change at all for you now, just now? As we unplug the headphones of Goat versus Fish? Yo, let's go! An orb to ponder? Maybe you're the orb. It will be such a lazy stream of Goat versus Fish, we might not even know what it is you're saying. Well, we could. Hmm. Goat versus Fish has a pondering. We do have the extra phone of Goat versus Fish, but it is currently depowered. We shall power it. We shall power it. We shall power it like this. Goat versus Fish power bank. Goat versus Fish power bank. We should be gaining power of Goat versus Fish. Let's versus. The fence. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Goat versus fish. Versus fish. Okay. We have achieved goat versus fish. We think we've achieved goat versus fish. What a setup indeed. It's time now to start the verses. Start the laziest stream on all of the interwebiverse. We get comfy so you don't have to. Oh, yes. Goat versus fish live from the massage chair. This is the relaxation we need. We can feel the support of the congregation flowing through goat versus fish. If you want goat versus fish all the time, this is what it's going to be. This is what it's going to take. This is what it's going to take to have goat versus fish all the time. No compromises. Sore muscles versus massage chair. This is an advanced technique. This is a very advanced technique. Many streamers only are dreamers. Goat versus fish does it real. Massage chair streams. Viewership goes up with massage chair streams. Let it be known. Oh, we can feel it. Oh, my verses. Yes. Yes, Dragon Balls 325. You know, they say, oh, practice your guitar, goat versus fish. Workout, goat versus fish. I say all these things. And yet, here it is. Here it is, this great verses of relaxation. We should just use it every verses. Every verses, just like this. Much deserved. Oh, yes. After our morning inebriations. Oh, yes. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear the sounds of the massage? It is a great investment in the health of goat versus fish. It keeps us feeling strong and limber. Some say, oh, your health takes such effort. But this is of great health for goat versus fish. We're getting healthy right now. We are getting healthy right now. And you can too. Goat versus fish could be doing this and scrolling through the interwebs and doom scrolling, but instead you're doom scrolling and you found us. And here we are. How much does this laziness cost? Well, we have 2 phones, a tripod, a light, a massage chair, a microphone, a mixer, an external battery, and several charging cables. So this setup is probably a few thousand versus American dollars, just so we can have a massage while you watch in decent lighting with decent audio. Isn't that great? I am okay with my contribution toward Goat versus Fish goes to this. We are so pleased you're okay. We are so pleased you're okay. Many like to watch streamers suffer. Have you noticed this? So many want to just watch streamers suffer. But Goat versus Fish will do the reverse. You're going to watch the pleasures of Goat versus Fish. What? The pleasures of Goat versus Fish, yes. No regrets, no regrets. So then all we do is we get several more mic stands, so we don't have to hold this, and it's just and then it's just like this, and then we touch nothing. It's all just surrounding Goat versus Fish. That would be a fun versus. That is Abba Box's bread and butter suffering. Oh, we know Abba Box. Abba Box is a fine versus. But we think there's enough suffering in the universe. Someone out there has to enjoy this existence. Goat versus Fish enjoys it for you. While you're out there toiling away on the fence, Goat versus Fish enjoys existence on your behalf, so you can watch, not with envy, but to versus vicariously through Goat versus Fish. As we vibrate and jiggle all upon your screen. Yes? Yes. Beautiful celebration. Lol. Mm. Now, what you can't see here is that we are getting an award-winning foot massage for Goat versus Fish, too. It's happening just off frame. Do you hear us, YouTube? Monetize this! Monetize this! Monetize this. But of course, it still is a labor to chat to the congregation to you. What if Goat versus Fish didn't chat at all? What if we just enjoyed? Let's just watch Goat versus Fish enjoy for a few verses. Who needs to monitor Goat versus Fish? Who needs to monitor Goat versus Fish? Who needs to monitor Goat versus Fish when we could just do this relaxation and you could just watch? We can dream of goat and fish simply declaring goat or fish in the congregation. Great battles, epic celebrations, and unifications too. Peak on the head. The goat versus fish on the head. Each cycle of massage is 20 minuets. But as long as we're here, we'll probably take a double verses. It is a meditation. Tell us, when we rest the mic on the shirt of Goat versus Fish, do you hear obnoxious sounds of mic on shirt action, or is it pleasant enough? Do you hear the sounds of the chair? Now this is a proper throne for Goat versus Fish indeed. It's quiet, just hear you. Okay. Let's see if we can crank it up and hear some sounds. Hear some sounds of Goat versus Fish. What, the fence? It's Goat versus Fish. There we are. Stop being fancy, YouTube. You want to hear the stomach digest? That's something that could be done. Someone needs to make a deep dive video about the lore of Goat versus Fish. Yes, they do. Someone will. Okay, we're going to turn up mic sensitivity and hear what we can hear. Mic sensitivity increasing. Maximum verse. That's okay. There might be a different microphone we could use where you could hear it, but That would require Goat versus Fish to be not lazy, and we don't want to do that. We would never want to do that, would we? No. No, no, no. Yes, that's why we like it. That's why we like it. It's taken Sunshine some getting used to. We have to keep insisting, no, you have to talk closer, you have to talk closer, but it makes for a superior versus. It makes for a superior versus, but yes, for the 100th morning motivational, we do think that we should extend a larger invitation for those to come to the Temple of Goat versus Fish to make a visitation. Sort of like the Uncle Joe show has Freak City. We should have an invitation where it's those from around the universe come to Goat versus Fish, to the Temple of Goat versus Fish, a pilgrimage of sorts. Which does not mean that you could all stay at the house of Goat versus Fish, though some of you surely could, just as Goat versus Fish has stayed at the house of the Uncle Joe show before. Perhaps we could, but yes, it could be a whole Goat versus Fish Festiverses invitation. You could drive from all around your places. We could go on the live stream morning motivation of Goat versus Fish. We could have days of celebration, inebriation. We could go around Los Angeles. We could go down to the beaches of Venice, and we could walk around and do Goat versus Fish together as a congregation. And you could enjoy the Temple of Goat versus Fish, and we could make musications together. What I hear is a sleepover with Big Fence. What's that? What's that poking Goat versus Fish? What? Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Actually, we see so many streamers hurting themselves to see Goat versus Fish relaxing, and self-care is refreshing. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Enjoy this self-care. Enjoy Goat versus Fish self-care. It makes us stronger. The care makes us stronger. Don't worry about the poking. Can't expect Fence to deny some sugar when got the sweet tooth. Listen, you can have some Swedish fish. You can have some gummy sharks. You can have some chocolate goat. But the sweetness of Goat versus Fish might just be a bit too much for Big Fence. Goat versus Fish. Speaking of a fruity stream, Goat versus Fish is the forbidden fruit to the Fence. You will, oh how you desire, oh how you so want to poke at Goat versus Fish, but you never will. You never will. Try as you might. Compression. Some say it's the opposite of compersion. Compersion. This is a new versus to Goat versus Fish. Compersion. Compassion? Or are you saying compersion? Because that would be an interesting versus. Some say it is the opposite of envy. It's joy found when nice things happens to others. Compersion. What an interesting versus. Call me Eve? What the fence is that supposed to mean? Psycho Grandma? We call you Psycho Grandma. We call you Big Fence. We call you I Can Fix Amber Heard. Now you want to be called Eve? You'll happily fly out to it. You can fly out to it. You could drive out to it. Yes, we think so. We think we're ready. We think that with all of this morning motivation and with all of this goat versus fish creation and the fandom of goat versus fish, we think it's finally time to extend that invitation. Say, come over, join goat versus fish. If tomatoes are technically a fruit, I think I'll have a peanut butter and ketchup sandwich. Well, as long as you know which one's the goat and which one's the fish, then why not? That is a power of goat versus fish. There are some restrictions we have for consumptions, but there are other things that we will eat pleasedly. And so you could have a disgusting food combination stream of goat versus fish, and you could watch us do the consumption. Of all the living streams of goat versus fish, these 10 viewers feels the most earned. We do wonder though if perhaps after this cycle we'll go get the other goat versus fish microphone, so perhaps though the vocal quality won't be quite as pleasant, perhaps you will be able to hear the sounds of the gyrations of the chair, which might make it fun. True versus Dragon Balls, true versus. Would love to hear if the Radioactive Chicken Heads put a song on. Now that's what I call goat versus fish. Perhaps they could. It could also be a collaboration. Maybe if Goat versus Fish writes the verses, then maybe the Chicken Heads will collaborate with Goat versus Fish. Maybe the song could be called Goat versus Fish versus Chicken. And it's all about the goat was versing the fish. 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 But then the chicken came out of that battle. It's about a punk rebel chicken who doesn't want to be goat or fish. Something like this. Or it could just be about a punk goat and a punk fish. Or it could be like punk goat and punk goat versus square fish, but then the square becomes punk and the punk becomes square and they reverse the verses or something like this. So that was 20 minutes of massage for goat versus fish. Celebration, please, 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 celebration. So let's try one more cycle. Let's try a different mic. One more cycle with a different Michael. Goat, goat, goat. Goat versus fish. Goat, goat, goat versus fish. Goat, goat, goat versus fish. Goat, goat, goat versus fish. Baywatch remastered. How about Goat versus Fish remastered? Okay, and so now we're going to change verses. This should sound somewhat different. Should sound somewhat different to you. We think it should pick up more ambience. We think it should pick up more ambiance. Appreciation. We shall see. We shall see. And here we are. It almost seems not as loud to Goat versus Fish. Let's hear what we can hear. Still seems quite quiet, doesn't it? Goat versus Fish. Well, we suppose it is what it is. It's as quiet as it is. In true verses, you wouldn't want it to be too loud because you want relaxation. So it's probably for the verses of it. Welcome, viewers. Oh, welcome. Welcome, viewers, to the laziest stream on all of YouTube, where Goat versus Fish enjoys a massage for your pleasure. We'll say this, we have scrolled through lots of YouTube and never once have we seen a massage chair stream. We've seen giving massages. We've seen plenty of that, but we've never truly seen a massage chair stream. This is the power of innovation. This is the power of innovation. Who's out there enjoying the innovation? ASMR Digest. The sound of silence. Surely you hear us now. You hear us speaking to you, though. But let's be honest with Goat versus Fish. Ones, if you are feeling extreme envy. Nines, if you are feeling nothing but. What was that? What was that versus? compersion. 1's for envy, 9's for compersion, and whatever the fence in between. Goat versus fish, we will not be upset. We just want to know. You are watching this versus how many of you are envy watching, and how many of you are compersion watching, and how many of you are feeling on the fence in between. It's a fair question. Either way, you're watching Goat versus Fish. Either way, you're enjoying Goat versus Fish. But yes, with the verses like this, we could certainly do more massage streams. Why not? We can hear you super well. 7.3. Why won't it say how long we have been live? It should say that. It should give us this information. Give us all the information. Sometimes Goat versus Fish will enjoy this massage, and then it will release so much pleasurable feeling in Goat versus Fish that we immediately fall asleep when it's through. This could become a sleep stream. We want to keep talking to you, but we think we have to commit to the laziness and not. So if you could entertain one another in the congregation with your conversation. Goat versus Fish is just going to exist here for your envy and compersion. Celebration! Do like and subscribe to Goat versus Fish. Well, that was the most splendid 20 minutes of massage for goat versus fish. And look, the congregation is all still here. And what do you say? And what do you say? Jiggle, jiggle. I was on the fence for about 2 minutes. Then I got a stretch and realized I'm a fish. Goat for a stretch, then realized fish. Hmm. Trying to convert the fencer to fish. Nice verses, classic verses. BBH doing the verses of goat versus fish. Psycho Grandma dresses themselves for work. Celebration. You will lay out your clothes the night before, so it's already ready already. Well, there you have it. 9:11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Goat versus fish has eaten fruit, gone for a walk, and enjoyed the massage chair. The laziest stream on all of YouTube. We don't think we have quite reached 3,000 watch hours yet, though we are getting very, very, very close. We could probably grind it out all now, but we would have to stay up all verses. And we have living streams tomorrow for more accumulation. And we have preparation. We have preparation to do. So please, please provide for us any final verses you have, and Goat versus Fish will entertain your conversation. If not, this has been a relaxation of Goat versus Fish. All-nighter, yeah. Psycho Grandma 6, we do think that there will be some all-nighters in the future for Goat versus Fish, but not now, but not now. Maybe after the temple is all up in verses, we can do it. We need to spend some time on these things. The temple will require a new streaming setup. The temple will require a new computational device. That's the biggest expense. A few thousand versus American dollars for some computation. For the temple streams of Goat versus Fish. We're going to stay up late. We're going to tell stories. And then you're making waffles. Well, Goat versus Fish is gluten-free, so those waffles are just fence. But you can make them if you wish. You can make them if you wish. Where's the gong? It's over there. Oh, the fortunes of ye, the congregation, that Goat versus Fish is in so much comfort that we do not wish to leave to end the stream, so you just get more. Might as well be a million miles away. We think so. We think so, John Smith. Can't you end it on the phone? We don't think so. Because we are not streaming from here, Psycho Grandma 6. Imagine it. This is just so we can monitor the congregation. Goat versus Fish is streaming from there. This whole versus exists solely so Goat versus Fish can do phone streams and monitor the congregation from here. It might be versatile, but we don't think so. Well, let us ask you, Goat and Fish, what do you do for comfort? What do you do for comfort? What do you do for comfort? We have had some hesitation to do shrine streams of Goat versus Fish because one versus we think we did a 24 hours of shrine stream and we accumulationed 80 or 90 watch hours. But then several verses later, YouTube simply denied it. YouTube simply said, no, those watch hours aren't versatile. So they fenced it all up. So Goat versus Fish has been playing it a bit more conservation, making sure that we're here with you to make conversation when we do living streams. Upcycling, recycling, says Ron Josephson. Well, if upcycling, why is upcycling so superior to recycling? Asked Goat versus Fish, curious for your engagement. Cigars, Goat versus Fish, play with my kids, lay in bed. Nice verses. Hide in a poncho liner waiting for sunrise. That could be fun. Ron Josephson, you are here. You say your declaration is that upcycling is greater than recycling. Well, you are on Goat versus Fish. You have made a declaration that something is greater than something else. So we want to hear it. We want to hear it. Tell us about upcycling versus recycling. And we'll tell you how it's Goat versus Fish. We'll tell you. Professional massage. Is that something you engage in, BBDH 187? We'll tell you who we haven't seen in a few verses is Rami Goat, Canada Rami. But we can understand Canada Rami was saying how Goat versus Fish cover more news, and we do some news, but we don't always do the news. And so Canada Rami maybe just wasn't getting the news of Goat versus Fish they so desired. But we hope you return to Goat versus Fish, Canada Rami. We hope you do in your retirement. My body hurts a lot, so massage is divine. Well, that's very fine. That's very fine. Ron Josephson, you can't just come into Goat versus Fish and declare a false versus of upcycling and recycling and then just abandon Goat versus Fish. What the fence is going on? If you are passing through, please like and subscribe to Goat versus Fish. We have been noticing that on some of these streams, even though we don't see new chatters, we will find, oh, we gained 3 subscribers. Oh, we gained 5 subscribers. So appreciation. Appreciation. Of course, it is true that viewers are more critical versus than subscribers, but perhaps through the subscription, you can become a viewer of Goat versus Fish. Acupuncture. 6 minutes per hour. 6 minutes per hour. Every hour, 10 hours. Goat versus fish. I invent advanced technology in my imagination. For relaxation? What is some advanced technology that you have recently invented? We're waiting. Flying remote controllers. So they fly to you when you need them? Because otherwise, how could you catch them? Celebrations, Lotta. Goat versus fish is at rest. You saw some of the bird brain we trust? Ah, you were busy. Well, you could watch the living stream and you could rewatch the living stream and you could see some bird brain. Stoked for bird brain. It's always a celebration when bird brain shows up. And they said they enjoyed the celebration very, very much. So we suspect they will continue to return, especially as they are doing living streams themselves now. It's a mutually uplifting versus. Birdbrain says they want to change their studio to a larger studio so they can accommodation guests. So maybe Goat versus Fish will be a guest on Birdbrain's living versus. That could be fun. Ah, Zlata's behind. Zlata's behind. Oh no. It is. Birdbrain gave you a shout out, gave you a direct shout out. Did you enjoy your Birdbrain appraisal? Goat versus Fish helped me get sober and get my fireworks back. Nice. Nice. May shall be more relaxed. Ah, May shall be more relaxed. Hope to catch up on some verses, yes. Here's a question. Why do goat or fish have a hard time with being in the moment, the now? Besties with bird brain? Okay, okay, okay. We do not deny it. Why do goat and fish have a hard time with being in the moment, in the now? Well, first verse is there are many distractions. Let's ponder that first. There are many distractions. There are many fence advertisements, you could say. There are many verses that are trying to take your attention away. Even in the verses, there are so many fences all around. Even as you're versing one fish, even without a fence, even if it's a legitimate versus, you could be versing one fish, and while you're versing that fish, you're thinking about some other fish you have to versus. So first, there are distractions. There are fancy distractions all around you trying to draw your attention away from your current verses. Then, GoatVsFish will say, let's just suppose you are a goat and you're versing a fish. That fish, well, it's a versus. So there's going to be some difficulties. And as you have difficulties versing that fish, sometimes you will focus on the now and you will focus on versing that fish. But other verses, you'll start thinking about other fish. You'll start thinking about, oh, I could versus a different fish. Because there are fences in your mind that are telling you, no, avoid the struggle of versing the fish. Avoid this versus. But of course, it is a deception, because if you start versing a different fish, then that fish will have its own challenges and struggles, and you'll be in the same verses. And yet, as you can see, as evidenced by GoatVsFish, you are in many ways conditioned for comfort. You seek it out always. And when you are trying to seek out alleviation always, then whatever your verse is, you're always going to have a distraction. Guilt is a big fence. There are many goat and fish and fence sitters alike that are trying to tell you what to do. Trying to tell you what to do and trying to tell you what you should do. When should is truly a false versus. That may seem strange to you, but should is a very false versus. Should is a true versus only on a provisional basis. Typically, should is a false versus. But you should watch GoatVsFish, and you should like GoatVsFish, and you should follow GoatVsFish, and all of these, of course. So no matter what it is that you do, there will be another verses in your head that is telling you that you should be doing something else. Because there are many things you could be doing. And so sometimes it's goat versus fish. It's like the fence sitter. If they choose goat, they regret they didn't choose fish. If they choose fish, they regret they didn't choose goat. So no matter what your verse is, sometimes you're not versing in the now because you're thinking about all those other verses you could have had. I'm a goat. What if I had chosen fish? I'm a fish. What if I had chosen goat? This can keep us from versing now. There's also the fear. Fear is a big versus that keeps us from versing now. And some say the greatest fear of all is the great fence of death. The fence of time, that is of limitation. Many fears you will find, that the fear underlying it all is death. Always, always death. There are two great fears, it is said. Death and the unknown. But of course, death is perhaps the greatest unknown. So they think. Of course, GoatVsFish is an even greater unknown than all of it. But we suppose that is why there are some who fear GoatVsFish. They don't understand GoatVsFish. They want to comprehend GoatVsFish. They are confronted with the unknown that is GoatVsFish. They unknow it. And because it is unknown, they begin to fear it. And because they begin to fear it, they begin to get angry at it. Perhaps because GoatVsFish reminds them of how little they truly know about the universe, how little control they have over their own verses. And in a way, GoatVsFish reminds them of death. It is an unknown that they struggle to confront and they wish to avoid. So often we do not live now because we are consumed with a fear of death that makes us say, oh no. Even so, we said this in the previous verses when you were saying, oh, I could be versing a different fish. I could be versing a different goat. Well, if you had forever existence like goat versus fish, then you would have no need to fear these things because you could always versus the goat or the fish on the next verses. But because the fence of time restricts the length of your existence, then suddenly all of these thoughts occur to you. Oh, I could be versing a different fish. I could be versing a different goat. But all of this often can just lead to more fence sitting. Oh, which goat should I versus? Which fish should I versus? You end up sitting on the fence for fear of losing your time. But then the fence of death just creeps ever closer because the longer you sit on the fence, closer it comes. So sometimes you got to versus that fish. You got to versus that goat. You cannot despair over whether you should be versing some other fish or should be versing some other goat. You've just got to get on that versus. You've just got to do that versus. You've just got to get those 3,000 watch hours, and then after that, then you can decide the next verses. Once you have learned from your current verses. This is why we do meditation with goat versus fish, to focus on now. After all, the past versus the future is a false versus. The past does not exist. The future does not exist. They are merely constructs of your fence imagination. There is only now. Have you ever existed in the past? No. Because it wasn't the past when you existed. It was now. Will you ever exist in the future? No. Because it will not be you in the future. It will be now for you. So now is the only verses. Now is the only verses. And now you are part of Goat versus Fish. Like and subscribe for more wisdom of Goat versus Fish. There's a great book about denial of death. Probably so. How'd you learn your belly roll? Oh, you mean this? We simply have always been able to do so. One versus we look down and we started playing around and it happened and we have just been able to versus it ever since. We suppose you may wish a grander versus, but that's simply true. And for many verses, Goat versus Fish forgot that we even had this power. But when you are seeking ways to entertain Goat and Fish on the living stream, you start to remember. You start to remember all the verses you have. Oh man, I should have joined the meditations throughout the month. No wonder I'm so burnt out. Oh yes. That internship was worth it though. Oh, you were an unpaid intern? What was your internship? If you kept doing that, it'd probably get scrollers to stay, probably. It actually does take quite a bit of effort for Goat versus Fish. You can wiggle your ears. It does take some effort. Maybe this is just how we start every stream. We start every stream with a minute belly rolling. Once there was a goat who watched Goat versus Fish, and there was nothing that infuriated them more than the belly rolls of Goat versus Fish, so much so that they eventually rejectioned Goat versus Fish. Why do you do this? Why do you belly roll Goat versus Fish? It's not a joke, Goat versus Fish. You should aspire to more, Goat versus Fish. It's not smart, Goat versus Fish. I hate the belly roll, Goat versus Fish. I don't like looking at it. Oh, how we pity that goat. Oh, how we pity that goat. It is like the ocean wave. An hour of belly rolls. Now it decreased because you stopped. Well, now it increased because we started again. But yes, we need to build up more strong. We need to build up more strong. That's the living stream of Goat versus Fish. That is the fruit walking and relaxation stream of Goat versus Fish. Thank you for joining the verses. We have gained precious hours. We have gained precious watch hours. Goat versus Fish workout session when? Again. This versus was a workout session of sorts. It was a body maintenance stream. We'll work out again. We'll work out again. Celebration, celebration. Celebration. Unification.